Russell Gahagan here from Russell's Fishing Tech. It's May 12th, 2021. We're heading out this morning to Port Washington, Wisconsin. We're gonna head out on a little bit of a coho mission here. Fishing's, really heated up here in Wisconsin this early. It's nice to see. There's some kings around, not a lot, but a couple. Been a few being caught. There's quite a few cohos around. There's also quite a few lake trout around. So come aboard with us today. Let's have a little fun. Let's check out the action. But first, what I want to do is I want to talk about two really important things. Kind of a little instructional stuff here. I want to talk about one important thing to me is that every time you head out on the water, you should have a plan the night before. As you're going to be able to see today, we're out on my buddy Matt's skeeter, Matt Clinton, who I go out with a lot. Him and I texted back and forth last night. We came up with a game plan. Not only do we have plan A, but we also got plan B. This morning we're going to start in about 20 to 30 foot of water just outside the harbor area. Kind of work that early, see how that produces for us, and then if that doesn't produce, we're going to head out to 80 to 100 foot of water. It's important, I really feel like you have a plan. Second thing I want to talk about is your strategy on lure selection. I'm not a big fan of getting too keyed in on what everybody else is telling you. I think fishing reports are important. I think that should be a starting point for you, but not an only point. I'm going to make a couple points of that. I've been hearing everything about purple flies, purple flies, purple flies. I'm going to start with a mix on my side this morning. When we fish on Matt's boat, I run one side, Matt runs the other. So I'm going to start with a nice solid mix. So on my downrigger, I'm going to have an orange/red, whatever you want to call it, standard 00 Dodger with a slider salmon candy Milwaukee minnow fly. Okay. One of my rate rods, I'm going to have a Wonder Wolverine spoon. Want to keep them honest, have one spoon out to start. Two of my other weight rods, I'm going to start with 00 red Dodgers with some purple, green, gold flies. So some of that purple that I've been hearing is working. And then on my diver, my slide diver, I'm going to run one of the Dreamweaver Coho Dodgers here in the orange with the UV tape, which I really, really like, with an apple color fly behind it. For me, this is always a shallow water, kind of colored water, great bait. So we're going to get our rods in the water, get started here. Hopefully you guys have a lot of fun today. Come join us on our adventure. Lily's hooked up. Just finishing setting up in that 20 to 30 foot of water here. We got a two color going with a Dodger fly. Peanut fly, Matt, or slider?
Slider.
Slider fly, okay.
Well, you know what? That's the peanut fly. Long time to remember all the way to 5 minutes.
One of the things that's neat to see is there's a lot of boats out already, and that's really cool for this early in the season to see, there's 30 boats within visibility already.
Yep.
I got it. We talk a lot about this in our videos and in our seminars, but that's the nice part about the Sam's Pro release. See here, we're nice, clean disconnect there. Don't have to worry about fighting the planer board. So our spread this morning is 3 planer boards on each side. I've got 3 weight rods on my side, half-ounce sinkers. Matt's got lead core on his side. And then we've got 2 downriggers out and then 2 slide divers, mono slide divers, one on each side. Got him. Number 1 of the morning, beautiful spring coho here in Port Washington, Wisconsin. Get you a little look at that. Beautiful fish. First one, orange slash red dodger. Matt will maybe get that untangled if you can.
I don't know if I will. Bright green fly.
It's a, I think it's a green peanut, is it?
It is.
Yeah, it's a peanut fly. So here's another one. This time.
That's a spoon bite there.
Oh, he's gone.
You slap?
Slide diver bite here. 30 out.
Orange crush.
Salmon candy mini spoon here. Orange crush.
Back-to-back spoon bites.
One of the advantages of slide divers, especially in this shallow water, if you haven't watched my slide diver YouTube video, is that you're able to extend the lead. And on a day like today, I think that's going to be real critical if you want to get diver bites. Right away in the morning like this, it might not be such a big deal, but as you can tell, it's really, really calm this morning. We're only fishing in 30 foot of water, so the fish might be a little bit boat shy. This one is definitely aggressive. It's easy, Lily. Get it to the diver. The diver going back up. He ain't hooked very well. We got him. Pretty lucky there. He isn't hooked very well. And this is why I talked about at the beginning of the video that you have to, in my opinion, it's in your best interest to put out a variety of stuff every day. And here's why. I mean, if you go on the internet and read the reports, and I think you should read the reports for your own knowledge to start, you know, all you're going to basically hear is, you know, orange dodgers, orange dodgers, orange dodgers. And orange dodgers are definitely the go-to for cohos. I'm not going to say they're not. They are. Baby spin doctors, you know, the Dreamweaver coho dodger, the Lure Jensen, or silver orange dodger. But let me tell you, spoons work. They always have. They've worked for 40 years, and they'll probably work for the next 40 when it comes to fishing cohos. And that's why I feel like putting out a variety and letting the fish tell you each day what they want, and adjusting sort of to that. We've only got 3 spoons in the spread of 10 rods, and 2 of which have taken bites. So we've had 3 bites so far, and 2 of those have come on spoons. Nice little mini orange crush salmon candy spoon there. So get this one back in the water and get back to fishing. Downrigger bite. So sort of interesting. We've now had 1 diver bite, 2 planer board bites, and a downrigger bite. So this one I think is on yeah, I think it's a baby spin doctor, Dreamweaver baby spinny with the UV tape, and a slider fly this time, I believe, instead of a peanut fly.
It is in all kinds of.
One of the things I'm going to talk about a little later on maybe is the difference between the slider fly and the peanut fly, and which one works better, etc., etc. Let Lily see if she can catch this one here. Get him up on the surface, and hopefully, there he comes. Pick him up. Up. Got him. So the difference, if you're not familiar with a peanut fly versus a slider fly, so a peanut fly is usually a shorter fly in length. Also, it's the material is tied on a treble hook. So it's right on the hook. It's usually a little smaller, usually a little shorter, and tied on the treble hook. And my experience has been that it works better right away in the spring. They seem to really like the peanut flies. And then as the season goes along, like we're getting to now, where we get into May, and then, you know, even into June, if you got a good coho bite around, I've found that a slider fly tends to work a little bit better. It's usually a little bigger, as I said, a little more profile. The other advantage to the slider fly versus the teaser for the peanut fly, and again, I think they both work great and have their moments, but the other advantage is kind of like a standard king fly, a slider fly, being that it slides up and down the line, you don't damage the fly as much when you get fish on it, and you take the you know, the treble hook out of the fish's mouth, etc., etc. So as you can see, like you can see there, probably when we pulled the fish in the boat, you know, the fly was way up the leader like that. So you're just taking the hook out of the fish's mouth. You're not taking the entire fly. A lot of guys grab that peanut fly with the pliers and it can damage that fly pretty quickly, so they don't last quite as long. Like this particular slider fly, you probably, if you don't break it off, can honestly catch 50 plus coho salmon on it. So we'll get this one back out and see if we can't get another bite or two here. Orange spin doctor again, baby spinny, with the slider fly again. We turned around, we're heading back north. Kind of slow this morning a little bit. I shouldn't say slow, it's actually pretty darn good, but it's not the fast and furious coho action that you can have. I think the flat calm seas and the high sun might be hurting the shallow water bite, so just getting kind of ready to start thinking about maybe making a move out to a little bit deeper water where maybe the sun isn't gonna bother the fish so much. I noticed there's already a couple of boats that have done that, so right as I was thinking about doing that, the guy right in front of us had the net out, so I thought, well, we'll give this a little bit here, and we just had another bite. So if you do go out and fish that deeper area, that 70 to 100, which has been good too, sort of the advantage you got there is there are a few other species out there. I think in the harbor area it's primarily cohos. If you go out and fish that 70 to 100, you got lake trout out there, chance at a possible king. There has been a few steelhead even being caught out in that deeper water, so that is the only advantage or one of the advantages I should say about heading out a little deeper, is I think you got a little better opportunity at a mixed bag. And I think in a high sun situation it might be a better option. So we're picking away at them here. I've been doing a 2.2 speed over ground today. I think that's pretty par for the course this early. I generally like to troll cohos pretty fast, more of like a 2.5 speed over ground type of thing, but being that we're still early May, water's cold, it's in the low 40s, not as big a fan of that real real fast speed this early. So 2.2 is pretty regular. That was a slider fly again. Going to talk a little bit more about that as we go today. So far, 1 peanut fly bite, 2 slider fly bites, and I think 2 or 3 spoon bites. So that's a decent action. We've only been out about an hour, I think, so not too bad. Here's our high flyer. One of the things that I like to do, especially when fishing steelhead or coho, is you sort of find an area where you're catching them, which right now it's been about 10 feet down for us, 10-15 feet down. I like to leave one real high, especially later in the morning when the sun gets high. You'd think it'd be the opposite, but I think what happens is you might get one of those more aggressive fish to come way up and grab a hold of that thing. And this was a real high flyer. This was only 20 back on a half-ounce weight rod, so it's probably like 5 feet down, 6 feet down. So we just took a hit here. We had kind of been on a dry spell. We had made a decision we're going to troll out away from the harbor area. I think we need to get over some deeper water. Maybe try to put a lake trout rig or 2 down, sort of get diverse here on our species of fish, while we continue to still attack coho salmon here with our coho rigs. As we're making a little bit of an east troll here, bang, took a bite here on this high flyer board. This is on a Dodger peanut fly. Salmon candy peanut fly, Mardi Gras color, which is purple, green, and gold. Grab the net from Matt here. Got him. Yeah. Another beautiful spring coho. Off the hook. Do I grab him, Billy, and put him in the live well? It's a handful of fish for us. We've been fishing a little over an hour, hour and 15 minutes, something like that, of fishing time. I think we've had 8 bites now, 9 bites, and we've taken 5 fish. It's really good fishing. I mean, it's hard not to get greedy because you always want to catch a bunch, and fishing's been pretty darn good. But when you think about it, for May 12th, that's a heck of a morning so far to be out hour and a half and have 8 bites of all silver fish. So looking forward to seeing what the rest of the morning brings here. We're going to work our way out, like I said. Now that the sun's high, and I think that shallow water is going to get tough. We're going to slide out to that 60, 70, 80 range and see if we can't pick up a few more fish here. A little dry spell here from that last bite in 40. We're out to 77 now. Kind of making our way out to about 90. Just had a 100 weighted steel bite here with a baby spin doctor and I think a slider fly. I'm not exactly sure. Might have had one other hit on a rigger. Lake trout rig we just put out a little bit ago. That might have got a bite. Lake trout rig, salmon candy cowbell, spinning glow set up, bouncing on the bottom there. What I was talking about earlier in the video, you know, if you're fishing kings or you're fishing kings or fishing cohos early and the bite gets a little tough where you're at, you know, don't be afraid. I talked about that a lot in my videos all winter. Don't be afraid put out some lake trout stuff to just kind of up your action a little bit. I think he got off, huh? Going up the spinny? Yeah, he's on. Right there. Wasn't spinny up there. I'm going to show you in a second here this setup, and everybody should own a few of these. You own a couple of these, at least, you know, a handful of them or whatever in different colors to fish on your downrigger. Then you should own a couple of Gold Star trash can Dodgers with these same spin and glow setups on them to fish on wire divers if you want. Here he comes right now. Oh, it's a beautiful smoker. Smoke this one as long as you can keep them lit. Yep. Here we go. So we'll show you the setup right here. So what we got going on here is, this is on the downrigger. This is the salmon candy cowbell rig. Okay, it's a Mountain Dew color. There's multiple colors, and in my opinion, they all have their days, right? Antifreeze, Mountain Dew, Wonder Bread, Charlie's Special, Clown. I think we're doing a new color. They all have their days, but what we got on the business end of this here, Matt's willing to grab that out of there for me. Yeah, sure. Is we have a Ron Burroughs Mistress slider fly behind Yakima Spin and Glow. And that's one of the products that are really, really hard to get right now. Yakima's way behind on production, so trying to get spin and glows right now in general is really difficult. But the business end of this setup is a 24-inch leader of 50-pound fluorocarbon line, and you can purchase this set up this way with a there you go, Russ. Thank you. This is a size 0. We got them in 2 sizes. The 0s and the 2s. The 2s are a little bit smaller. It's a size 0 Yakima Spin and Glow with a Ron Burroughs Mistress fly behind it. Good quality fluorocarbon leader line. And then a very good quality Addy treble hook here is what we've got on this particular setup. So we're going to get this back down on the downrigger. We were just bouncing bottom a little bit there when we got that bite. And be right back behind you. Nice one. Nice lake trout on again. I mean, we didn't get all the rods back in, and that lake trout rig took off again. Cowbell set up. Probably have to get Matt to start participating on his side maybe with one of them. See if we can't get a little bit, heat up the action here. We're just gonna turn north. We're in that 80 to 90 foot range here out of Port Washington. And as I mentioned a couple times here, but just trying to walk you through sort of my thoughts throughout a day. You know, as I kind of figured that shallow water bite was gonna die, you know, we've worked our way out, and it appears to be the right move. Picked up a coho right away when we got in that 80 foot range. Picked up a laker on that double there that we had going. Now we got another laker going. I don't think we're gonna have quite as hot, heavy, probably coho action, but not ready. But like I said, we've got some lakers to add to the mix now. We wouldn't keep it in the water, baby. Down in the water. We wouldn't have had that. It's a nice one. We would not have had that in close to the shore. Beautiful fish. Hard to keep them hooked when they get to the surface like that. Doing great, man. See that beautiful Mountain Dew cowbell in the water there? That salmon candy. Gold spin and go rig. There it is. Great setup.
That one's heavier.
That's a nice one.
That was flipping the coho.
That's a nice one. So, just a program, you know, that I've been working all winter with you guys on. Just talking about trying to be diverse. Yeah, to spit up a couple bait fish here so you can kind of see what it's eating. It's like immature alewives. So, you know, it's something I talked about all winter long, trying to diversify your spread and trying to up your game here. What better way for early season fishing? I mean, when really we're not even usually fishing yet a lot of times, to get out here and catch some awesome coho salmon for the grill. So really nice lake trout for the smoker or the grill. I like to boil these too, just a great fish. So might add one more of these rigs out there. I don't know if I'm gonna maybe put my wire dipsy out, or maybe we'll put something on Matt's rigger just to see if we can't continue to catch, you know, some of these lake trout here. That's a really nice fish.
Yeah,
Get this one back in the water and see if we can catch another one. Let the camera guy get in on some action here. Just put a Magnum salmon candy spoon down on a downrigger. How far down did you have that, Matt?
81.
81. So I think it's probably in the lake trout area. Maybe a small salmon, but probably a lake trout.
The trout.
Yep, the trout.
Willie, you want me to take it, or you got it? I'll take it. Got him? Alright.
Oh, Lily got him at the net.
I didn't knock him off this time.
Good job.
Knock him off. Good job, Will.
That Magnum salmon candy spoon wasn't down there 5 minutes. Mountain Dew stud.
It's a classic example. You go to clear a rod on that side, and that's usually what it takes for the rod to go off that's in the way. So,
Another good fish for the smoker, to be honest with you, and that'd actually be a good
show that
griller.
spoon.
It's a 4 or 5 pound lake trout. Mountain Dew stud, beautiful colors, great spoon, great flasher too. Probably gonna fish just a little bit more here, so I'm not sure if we'll have any more fish videos or not, if we'll have a little wrap up, but we're gonna give it a little bit and we'll see if we can't maybe bring a little more action to you. So it's about 8:45. Just got another strike here, actually a high board coho. I think this is going to be kind of our wrap up. We're going to go in, I think, shortly after this. I got to get to work. Matt's got to get to work. Just a nice morning run. You know, I think we fished about probably fishing time 5:30 a.m. to around 9 or so by the time we pick up here. We're going to end up, I think, in the double-digit range for fish. Obviously missed some bites. Picked up, I think, 3 lake trout. The rest are going to be silverfish cohos. This is really an awesome morning for May 12th today. You know, I mean, we're really 2 or 3 weeks before we would normally. There he is, another one. Double header going here. We're really 2 or 3 weeks before we would generally see good silverfish fishing. So it's really nice to see the action so good so early. And to be quite frank, today wasn't one of the better days been in the last week. But it's, like I said, it's still really good compared to what I would say normal. So my expectation is that the fishing overall this year is going to be really pretty good. And if you don't have your boat ready, or you're just kind of getting going, now is the time to probably start to get everything ready to go. So we're gonna finish up catching these couple here hopefully, and end on a double header here. That'd be awesome. I know one's Dodger Peanut. I'm not exactly sure what the one is. Another one. There he is. Third one. Matt, grab him. Third one. Go ahead and catch him, Matt. I'll help Lily. Lily, get back up to me here.
You want me to end the video?
Nope. So triple header here. Lake trout rig on the rigger just took off. Top of it. Alright, so we got that one there. Lily, you want to grab the net for Matt? Just when you got a little low in the action, we started talking about cups of coffee and breakfast. Chinese fire drill starts. What a beautiful morning.
Yeah, gorgeous. Absolutely just phenomenal.
Will they bump that, you think?
Lily sabotaging us?
I think so. Yeah.
He's speeding up with the handle of the net. That's high end level stuff.
I got this one right. Another Dodger Peanut there. Salmon candy peanut fly. Mentioned this a couple times already, I think, a little bit, but I'm going to continue to mention it.
Oh, he's off.
Just got off. That happens. Came up to the surface, got off. Careful, Lily. I think 2021 is going to be a special year, guys. I really do. There's enough fish around this early that I think it's going to be a really good year. Not only of the fact that we're going to have coho around, which we don't always do as far north as they already are, but also the fact that there's definitely good numbers of lake trout in the lake, and there's already a few kings being caught, here and there. All of those things basically point to what I'm expecting, which is it's going to be a really good year of fishing overall. And as long as Mother Nature cooperates, which for the next 5 to 7 days, she looks like it's going to be beautiful. Guys are going to get out and they're going to catch a bunch of fish. So if you need anything, you can feel free to call me at the store at 920-395-2079. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed the video and good luck fishing.